Brenda Quintana coming to you from the Beehive at QBsQuest.com. Today I'm going to show you how to make this Christmas card using the Layering Circles framelits and the Hearts Come Home bundle. And this bundle is such a pretty bundle. I've seen so many great designs with it. If you purchase both the stamp set and the framelits at the same time, you can save 10%. This card has a circle cut out of it that looks like a moon, and it peeks through to the inside where I have the Santa and sleigh stamped. It looks like you spent a lot of time making it, but it's actually not too hard to make. So let's get started and I'll show you how to make this card. To start off with, you're going to need a piece of Night of Navy cardstock, and I've cut this piece to 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches, and then I scored it in half at the 4.25 inch mark. Then you're going to need your Big Shot, and I'll be using my magnetic platform, but you can also use the platform that came with your Big Shot. Then you're going to put down one of your cutting plates, and then you're going to take the card base that we just created and put it on your platform. You're going to take the Layering Circles framelits, and you're going to take the largest one, and you're going to place it so that it's about 1/4 inch from the center score line and 1/4 inch from the right hand side. Right now that right hand side is actually facing towards me, so let me just show you how it looks when I hold it up to the camera. This is what's going to be the front of the card. So you're going to want the circle 1/4 inch from the top. So here's the score line, so that will be the top of the card, and you'll want it 1/4 inch from the right hand side. Then you're going to take your second cutting plate and place it on top, and then we're going to run it through the Big Shot. And this is what it looks like. Then we're going to cut the piece with the houses on it. And for that, you're going to need a piece of thick Whisper White cardstock. And I've cut this piece to 5.5 inches by 2 5/8 inches. I'll place this on my cutting pad. And then I'm going to be using this piece right here to cut my houses. And I'm going to place it so that the house and the roof of this middle house are touching the top of my piece of cardstock. I'm also going to want the die about 1/4 inch in from the right hand side. Then I'm going to place my second cutting plate on top, and then I'm going to run this through the Big Shot twice. There's a lot of detail on this die, so I'll want to make sure that it cuts out properly. So I'm just going to remove the die, and you're left with a piece that looks like this. Then I'm going to take my Big Shot die brush, and it comes with this foam mat right here, and I'm going to just gently run my die brush over the top of all these little details. Remember to use gentle pressure because you're right on top of cardstock and you don't want to rip your cardstock. You might need to get in here and remove some of these little pieces by hand. And if there's some stubborn pieces, you can even come in here with your paper piercing tool and just grab the pieces that don't want to come out with your die brush. And so you're left with a piece like that. So we're going to want this piece to extend all the way across the bottom of the card base. I'm going to use these little end cuts as a guide for how I'm going to bring this across. You can take a pencil and just draw in the lines as they should go right to the edge, and then you can cut along them. For this one on this side, I'm going to have the slope come down just a little bit more than this little line here on the side is guiding me to do it. So you can draw the pencil line in first, and that will help guide your scissors. So now I can come in and I can cut this piece away from the bottom, and then I can do the same thing for the other side. And there is the panel for the front of the card. Now we can bring in the card base, and I'm going to want to fold it along the score line. And you can take a bone folder and smooth down that fold so it lays nice and flat. And then you can take your piece and you can just make sure that it's going to look good on the front of your card. And then you can add some Tombow to the back of the card. Now keep in mind right here the circle is going to dip a little bit, so I'm not going to want to put Tombow right there. So I'm going to start off by putting some on the side, and then I'm going to come along the bottom and the side here. So I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap right here so that this panel doesn't glue itself to the inside of the card. And then I can take this and bring it down here along the bottom, and then I can just push it down like that. Then to create the moon on the inside of the card, I'm going to use a piece of very vanilla cardstock. And I've cut this piece to 5 1/8 inches by 3 7/8 inches. I'm going to place this piece on the inside of the card, and I'm just going to leave it sitting there right now without adhering it. And then I'm going to close my card. Just in case I make a stamping mistake, this piece will not be glued down yet. Then I'm going to take my Night of Navy ink pad and open it up. And I'm going to take my Santa sleigh with reindeer and ink it up in the Night of Navy. And I'm just going to hold this down, and I want it just a little bit on an angle. Stamp it, and that looks pretty good. So now I can take my very vanilla piece and adhere it down. If I had made a mistake, I would just flip it over, and I have one more chance with this very vanilla piece. I'll just need a little bit of Tombow to adhere this down. And I'm just going to, of course, put this centered back the way I had it before. And you'll still have enough room to write yourself a little greeting. But if you do that, just remember you're going to want to avoid this area so it doesn't show through from the outside. So last but not least, just to brighten up this card, I'm going to use some Cherry Cobbler double stitch ribbon. And I've cut this piece to 16 inches. And so I'm just going to take it and I'm going to wrap it around the card. And I'm going to want the knot over on the left-hand side of it. So I'm just going to bring my knot in like that. And then I'm going to use a pair of locking tweezers to hold down my knot while I tie it. Just it's kind of like using your fingers to hold the knot. And then I can come in and tie my knot like that. And then I can take my scissors and just cut off the ends of this ribbon on an angle. And there you go. You can see that there's a little bit of variation between the Whisper White cardstock that we used for the houses and the very vanilla cardstock that we used in the back to create the moon. This card looks like it took you a long time to make, but it really didn't. All the supplies you'll need to make this beautiful Christmas card are available for purchase on my blog. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Bye for now. If you like this tutorial, be sure to check out all the free with purchase tutorials available on my blog. The mini wine bottle and chimney slider boxes tutorial is just one of the exclusive tutorials that you can choose free with a minimum purchase in my Stampin' Up! Store. Hi, it's Brenda again. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also visit my blog for more information on my projects and to learn about my rewards program, or just watch another one of my videos. Thanks for watching.